You like that? What's up, everybody? Welcome to your own podcast, the Out Blitz. Look, week 1 is in the books. If you didn't know what you were doing, I don't know what I was into, I heard all these excuses. No more excuses. Week 1's over. If you won, then you did something right. If you lost and you didn't learn something, then you're doing everything wrong, and I can't wait to play you. Look, we're going to start off at the top, okay? The best team in the whole league, team of the week, Christian, Mike Chubb Hurts, Salas. 553 points, over 358 points. Jack, did you know there was games on Sunday? I was going to call you, man, but did you know? NFL started on Sunday, okay? This one coming up, week 2. I hope you make it. All right. The next was yours truly, the commish. I beat up on David, 447, 315. A lot of people were asking me, what was it like? What was it like winning? I said, well, you know how when you wake up in the morning and you open your eyes? It was that hard to beat David. David, I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. You're struggling. Don't overreact. Then we had Jonathan. Jonathan beat up on, I can't even say beat up because this was the closest matchup of the whole week, with Jonathan beating Tommy 393 to 383 by 10 points. Jonathan's team, the strongest offensive team. Nobody saw that coming. I'll get more into the numbers. And Tommy, you have an interesting team. What a case. You have a head case in terms of the difference between your offense and defense. We'll get more into that. And then we had Seth beating up on Dan by a tune of 432 to 388. So, league standings has Christian, of course, at the first place, followed by myself, then Seth, then Jonathan, then Dan, then Tommy, then Jack, and then, then Jack, and then David. So, Jack, you're not in last. David's last. Okay, anyways, look, as we get into this, I'm just going to get really quickly, I'm going to get into a little bit of the numbers as it pertains to offensive, who was the strongest offensive team and who was the strongest defensive team, okay? Strongest offensive team, like I said, in first place, 201 points goes to Jonathan. Jonathan, 201. I didn't see that coming. I don't think anyone else did. Then we have myself, second strongest offensive team with 185 points. 1 point behind me for third place, Christian with 184. Fourth place, Seth with 159. Behind him, Dan with 143 for fifth place. And in sixth place with 127, David. Tommy in seventh place with 121. And Jack with 111, 111. Let's make a wish. Let's do it together. I wish I didn't draft my team. Did you wish for the same thing? I hope you did, man. 111? Terrible, man. Terrible in any league. All right. Defense, totally different story. Defense with 371 points. Christian takes it by far. I mean, I'm going to say it first here. The first prediction here on the All-Out Blitz, nobody is going to touch 371 points. I promise you that. Amazing. Go look at his roster. You wouldn't believe what happened. Anyways, in second place, 98 points behind Seth with 273. And then we have Tommy with 262. And what's interesting is that also with 262, the commish. So two teams. When I saw Tommy drafting defense, linebacker, oh my God, we're so scared of him. You forgot an offense. I mean, one thing I said, thank God Tommy's as bad on offense as he is good on defense. Anyways, 262 there on defense. So his defense is showing up as expected. Dan in fifth place with 258. Jack 237 for sixth place. David 195 for seventh. And Jonathan 181. 187 for Jonathan in defense. So what did we learn there? We learned that Jonathan is very strong on offense and very weak on defense. But what also we look at, any team can win. You can be the strongest offensive team, and that can carry you to victory even if your defense sucks. So in many ways, I'm learning that the blitz, a little more intense, a little more electricity, is just another fantasy league. So a lot of overthinking, I think. And let me say this. Number one piece of advice that I'm going to give everybody: stop overreacting to week 1. Week 1, you have 17 more. Okay, just take it as a bye week. You lost, so what? Move on. Now, as we look inside the numbers, we're also going to look at the teams. We're going to go just team by team, and we're going to end it there. We're just going to go team by team, and then I have some interesting facts just to look at, and that's what we're going to do. Every Wednesday before Thursday. For me, the league starts on Thursday. So every Wednesday before Thursday, we're just going to go ahead and throw out the numbers and get you ready for your next matchup. Now, we're going to start with Christian. Christian's defense was definitely the leader. 371 points, led strongly by his defense. 371. The highest performing member of his defense was actually the team defense, the Eagles, giving him 85 points. And the lowest performing defensive player was, I don't know his first name, but S. Thompson, linebacker, gave you only 18 points. On offense, you scored a total of 184. The highest producer was Tyreek Hill with 50 points. And the lowest was Goddard from the tight end from the Phillies. Now, think about this. Christian's team scored 535 points. 553, even more. 553 points. And that's with one of his roster spots giving you 0. So, very easily, he probably could have scored 600. Next, we got my team, the Commish. We were led by my defense. The defense scored 262 points. Highest producer was Buckner, defensive lineman for the Colts. Picked up the ball and scored a touchdown. I wouldn't say a lot. David played with. What is that? That is crap. No, it's not. That is an alert play. Everyone's watching the ball on the floor. He picks it up and runs it in for a touchdown. Gives me 74 points. I'll take it. Probably the difference in the whole week. I was also the guy who did the least for me. This is encouraging. Nick Bosa, the Niners, my favorite team, only gave me 8 points. So if I can win convincingly and that guy only gives me 8 points, I'll take it. On offense, I was 185. The highest producer was Tua with 37, and the lowest was Everett, tight end that I picked up just because I was not going to trust Waller. 4 points there. I left 110 points on the bench, so I'm not happy about that, but honestly, I think my highest scores were not on the bench. Christian, you left 79 points on the bench. In third place, right now is Seth. Seth was led by his defense, 273 points. The highest producer there was TJ Watt with 74, and the lowest was only 9 points by Petrie. Petrie is a defensive back, only gave me 9 points. Offensively, Seth's team was led to the tune of 159.26. Highest producer, 28.4 points by Eckler. And the lowest producer, of all people, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was 0. And guess what? That's what he's going to give you every single week this year. Too bad what happened there. Seth, you left 72.9 on the bench. After Seth, we have Jonathan. That's the last winner. Jonathan was led by his offense. Jonathan's offense led the league. 201.72. His highest producer there was Christian McCaffrey with 30.90, almost 31 points. Lowest producer, George Kittle. So 249ers only giving you 4.9. So again, 201 points with a guy giving you 0. The sky's the limit there. Defensively, only 181 points. Highest producer there was 55 points by Winfield, a defensive back. And then your lowest was 4 by Riddick, linebacker, defensive lineman. And you left 139 points on the bench. After Jonathan, we got Dan. Dan, you're the best of the worst, as you scored a total of 432 points. You were definitely led by your defense, 258 points. Highest producer, 65 points by Walker, your linebacker, and your lowest was 13 points by Washington defense. So your Commander's defense let you down there. Offensively, only 143 points, 143.62. Highest producer there was Etienne, 21.4, and your lowest, and this is not going to happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen again. Joe Burrow, only 3.18 points. That's definitely a little bit encouraging on that because that's just not going to happen again. After Dan, we have Tommy. Tommy was led by his defense, of course, 262 points. His highest total was 78 by Roquan Smith, and the lowest was 12 points, again, by the team defense, Ravens defense. Offensively, you scored 121 points. Your highest totaler was Deshaun Watson, the quarterback, 21 points. And the lowest, another 0, Drake London from the Atlanta Falcons, 0. That's concerning. You left 147 points on the bench. After Tommy, we got Jack. And Jack was led by apparently nothing because just very, very low total it is on both offense and defense. On offense, as stated before, 111 points. High score there was 27 by Michael Pittman. And then the lowest was, if you can even believe this, this won't happen again. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to beat this. It might happen again, but minus 3.54 from Daniel Jones, the quarterback for the New York Giants. That's what you get. You pick that guy to lead your team to be there week 1, he's going to give you minus 3.5 points. So you also left 177 points on the bench, 117 of that belonging to the Cowboys defense. Why you wouldn't start the Cowboys defense, I have no idea. So I just think it's back to the drawing board for you, okay? You gotta really start over and just kind of rethink this whole thing. So ask yourself first, is football for me? Is it for me or is it for everyone else? And if you can get to an answer, then move forward, but gotta do better, bud. Gotta do better. After Jack, and you know what, Jack, don't feel too bad because you're not even in last place. Last place with only 315 points for, 447 points against David. David was absolutely decimated on defense, only scoring 195 points. Highest total there, Bobby Wagner with 68 points. And then the lowest producer was only 4 points by Joey Bosa. Offensively, only 127 points. Stephon Diggs gave you the highest on offense with 26 on Monday night, and the lowest was 0.4 by Sky Moore. So when I saw 0.4, I thought that was going to be the low point of the league. No, minus 3.54 from Jack. You left 68.6 points on the bench. So you left the least amount of points on the bench. So really, you did your best. So anyways, moving on. The lowest scoring offense was 111 by Jack, and the lowest scoring defense was 181 by Jonathan. The highest scoring offense, 201 by Jonathan, and the highest scoring defense, 371 by Christian. Most points on the bench left 177 Jack. Of course, 117 of that was from the Cowboys. I bet you'll never not start the Cowboys. Most single player on the bench, we just said, was Dallas. Highest scoring defense, 371 to Christian. And the highest scoring player also on Christian's team, Philadelphia defense, scored 85. No one outscored them. Again, what you need to look at when you're trying to see the strength, the actual strength of teams, is what's happening right after them, right? And the fact that the second strongest defense is 98 points behind Christian, that's really where, like, the truth of it is. There's no fluke going on there. Watch out for Christian, in particular his defense. High scoring offense, belonging to Jonathan, 201 points, and he also had the highest producing player, Tyreek Hill, 50 points. Actually, that went to Christian, so Christian had that. And that's it. That's all we got for you now. Now we got matchups coming up. Week 2 right around the corner, actually starting tomorrow. I really like what the app did. I got to share this. So basically, player of the week, Tua. Tua's in there for my team, McCaffrey for Jonathan's team, Tyreek Hill for Christian's team. As far as wide receiver, tight end, Hawkinson with 11 points. So tight end's really not doing much. Then we have the kicker. Was my kicker. Elliott scored 17 points. Defensive lineman, Buckner with 74 points. That's on my team. Hufanga was the best defensive back. That belongs to Christian with 57. Linebacker, Roquan Smith, 78, belonging to Tommy. And the best defense belonging to Christian's Eagles, 85 points. Bench warmers of the week. These are the guys that, had the most points on the bench. Brock Purdy was the quarterback with the most points on the bench, belonging to Jack, 18 points. Aaron Jones, somebody didn't start Aaron Jones. They left him 28.7 points against Chicago. Then we had somebody left Zay Flowers on the bench, the highest receiver with bench points, 21.7. Tight end Laporta, only 9 points, but he was left on the bench. by Christian. Defensive lineman, 30 points. 30 points. I left him on the bench. Judah from the Patriots. Defensive back, Jay Holland, 54 points by Christian. He left him on the bench. Linebackers, P. Queen, 59 points by Tommy. And then the Dallas Cowboys defense, again, the most points on the bench by anything, 117. Most efficient manager goes to Seth. Seth just had absolutely maxed out on his point totalage. The least efficient manager, Jack. Jack with only 348 points. Highest points in loss, Dan. Dan scored 402 points and only to lose by 30 points there. And then lowest points in a win was Jonathan with 389. So you had a very good matchup, Jonathan. Then the biggest blowout, again, Christian. Christian just giving out good blowouts. 555. And the narrowest victory, Jonathan. Jonathan only won by 6 points. By 6 points. It is 6 points. Overachiever, Christian. His projection was 401. He ended up with 555, so that's amazing. Underachiever, David. David was supposed to get 322 points. Actually 376, and he ended up with 322. Sorry, it's freaking like 3 in the morning. It's the only time I can do this. So definitely, as we said, the standings are what they are. Now the matchups going into the next week, and then we'll be all done. Week 2, we got. All right, so now we got. I'm going to be playing Christian, so that's going to be a hell of a battle there. And then Seth will be playing Jonathan. Okay, so there's one. Each one of those guys has one win, and the other guy has a loss. David is going to be playing Jack. So that's, to me, the toilet bowl right there. One of you has to win that one. And then Dan's going to be playing Tommy. Right now, Tommy projected to win that one. So that's all I got for you now. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Look, I know it's a little bit what it is, but hey, it's a way to keep in touch. I'll be throwing in some more interesting numbers. Also, anyone wants to talk trash, if we can figure out how to use this to make interviews and stuff like that, we're gonna have fun. Thanks everyone for entertaining me, and good luck in week 2. See you later in All Out Blitz.